What's that? GOG re-released Blade Runner, one of the finest point-and-click adventure games ever made, now running flawlessly on Windows 10 because of years of work from the folks over at ScumVM? You want to talk about good licensed adaptations? Blade Runner is one of the finest examples. Low on fan service and high on good writing, voice acting, and I know this is all in like 640 by 480, it was 1997, and this game came on an absolutely beastly 4 CDs. You could get it running on modern systems, but like this is better. The year is 2019, the place, Los Angeles, and you're Ray McCoy, who isn't just a stand-in for Harrison Ford's character because he's not a creep or a drunk.
Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one good one. Pour me one.
Okay, maybe he's a drunk. You might be wondering, what am I looking at here? Basically, a background that's a pre-rendered movie, richly detailed and also seemingly impossible. This wasn't your average point-and-click, they had to build this thing from the ground up. I don't care if it's low res, this whole thing looks beautiful, absolutely perfect. Good thing too, because they sank so much money into it that it had to be one of the best-selling adventure games of all time to be profitable. And it was. And they were like, okay, we have this beautiful pre-rendered 3D world, let's put sprites in it, and according to the devs, that looked like shit.
So when we were making the characters of Blade Runner, we had these models, and I think people are familiar with models and polygons. Well, we had to represent them in a world that was 3D. So we used voxels.
Voxels, whoa, hell yeah. Suck it, Grim Fandango. God, that is so cool.
The thing I was most afraid of is, what are the fans going to think? I would just be mortified if I had done something that they felt was a travesty for the IP and had done something that belittled it or took away from the value.
Against all odds, this did not happen, and Blade Runner is one of the best games I've ever played. Now, I'm only going to be showing one playthrough here, which, since I've played the game before, it took about 6 hours. But there's something you gotta understand. Every time you start a new game, there's different stuff happening. Many of the characters may or may not be replicants. You may or may not be a replicant yourself. Clues change, dialogue changes, so this might not be representative of what you'd see in your own playthrough. With that said, let's get started, and remember, don't do the designer cut, it chops down your dialogue options, and also set your dialogue to user choice, that's the fun one. Unless you want to be an asshole, you can play that way too. You get this same opening crawl like in the movie, followed by...
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one?
Mr. Runcer, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Might not be the best idea to open your game like this, but I don't know, Lucy is like 14, by the way.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary.
Oh, that's greasy.
We're closed. Come back tomorrow.
Oh, thank God, some murder.
We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. Forest of the night.
BR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
I was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the second sector.
Oh, what's that? The most controversial part of Blade Runner's original theatrical cut where Harrison Ford was sleepwalking through film noir narration that was unnecessary to the movie? Well, we have it here, except it's good and kind of necessary in the context of a video game. It works.
Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest work I'd seen. Where's Captain Bryant?
Yeah, that guy from the movie. Where is he? Doesn't matter. This is Guza. And we have the first of our unexpected voice actors, Jeff Garlin, who you might know from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Guza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Guza could be one tough hombre. I remember when we worked mice together. He poured acetone on 2 pimps that gave us some lip and lit a match. I'll tell you, it looked like the goddamn 4th of July out there.
Peachy.
Animal murder done at Runciter Zoological. Probably just be a schizoid glitz, but we got the call.
Slumming tonight, Slim?
Wait, another voice actor who appeared on a popular television show?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers out. Couple of 4s were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. I dressed up like a nurse, they never had a chance.
I'll bet. You put him on the machine?
Hell no. There's a beautiful little thing in here called the magic, and it ain't ever been wrong.
This seems like a terrible attitude to have, especially since...
You ever retire a human, your career is over.
Well, the magic for me is saving my game in case I'm wrong, which is the same thing, right?
What's Gooza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runsitter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-road paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
No, she just got an ass like that.
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
That's not in the dialogue options. Time to be a big bad cop, man.
Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Piece of chrome.
From a car?
No, I think it's horse chrome.
Yes, perfect.
McCoy, LPD.
I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act.
This fucking guy.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was two men acting in concert with her, obviously.
Obviously. Could they have been replicants?
Who else would be capable of such barbaric acts? I'm ruined. Totally ruined.
You ever do any business with the replicant manufacturers, Tyrell Corporation?
I resent that accusation.
I mean, this guy's not on the level, and the game doesn't give me the option to shoot him. Yet.
Tell me about this Lucy.
There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for a short while. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing.
You ever retire a human, your career is over.
Okay, enough of you. Time to do Babby's first clue hunt. Grab this toy dog, find these chopsticks on the desk, and if you don't suck at the game, you can also find this stuff with the security photos, and you get to use the Esper machine just like in the movie. So back at the station, run the training course, suck at that, still got a higher score than Deckard, but nowhere near as good as Steele, who was apparently always here.
Lucky Strikes. Crystal's brand. I knew she was spending a lot of time in the training maze these days, even though she'd already gotten close to a perfect score.
Oh, Lucky Strikes, unfiltered by the look of them. If you could smoke those and still be an active rep hunter, I'm guessing she's a little more human than human, if you know what I mean. The Esper machine shows you a takeout menu from the place the chopsticks were from, Howie Lee's, and gives you a picture of one of the suspects, the mysterious Clovis, who I assume is a replicant in every playthrough, and it gives you the license plate on the car because it's magic. Cool. The car barely matters. Wait a minute, Runsitter's over here when they come in, not over here like in the scene before being all creepy. You follow the lead to Chinatown. This is another place from the movie.
He say you Blade Runner.
Tell him I'm eating.
You're a pretty smart-looking cat. Want to make some money?
Pay me large, you got my rapt attention.
Depends on how much the information's worth.
Unfortunately, my man, I got a bug.
Escorto Frizz. We'll talk about him later.
Dynamite dining, old man. Catch you later.
Oh yeah, obviously this guy's a skin job. Here's a fun thing. The chopsticks are from a restaurant supplier, but the menu is from here.
This from your place, isn't it?
Could be. Chopstick come from Yoshi's restaurant supply.
So one clue is less useful than the other.
This from your place, isn't it?
Yes, sir. You do Howie favor? Distribute all through our police station?
Howie says you're a master chef.
You not come back here. Air bad.
This'll only take a minute. There's a test I'd like you to take. It won't take too long.
Test? What kind of test?
Here we go, kids. We get to voice comp somebody. For those unaware, it's tests that'll tell you who's a human and who's a replicant if calibrated correctly. And, oh, god damn it. Oh, okay, so he's a rep. Fine, he gets away. But since I played this game before, I know that I have to go home, and I'm walking real slow. Hell yeah, we get to shoot people in this game too. It's just that I've only got standard shitty police bullets that, thankfully, can change.
Rumor has it you've been earning your stripes, McCoy.
Oh hey, it's Gaff, played by Edward James Olmos in the movie and by Javier Grajeda here. Javier Grajeda, yeah I know I pronounced it wrong, shut up.
You VK the mark before retirement?
Didn't have to.
That's why they call it the magic.
I'm starting to understand.
Yeah, dude attacked me outside my apartment and I have a gun. I had to shoot him like 80 times. Magic. Okay, back in the apartment and McCoy's awesome dog, Maggie.
Who's the best dog in the whole world? Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
Get ready for this game's money shot, kids, because it's this.
Zubin was the first Nexus 6 I'd come up against. There was something in his eyes, an almost primordial desire to live. Most of the 3s, 4s, and 5s I'd seen would just give up when you had them. But these 6s, they were a whole other breed.
Meanwhile, at Valve...
Got your delivery here, man.
What?
Kingston Kitchen.
Now, for real, this is Sadiq. He's one of the most important characters in this game, and he's gonna blow up this Tyrell scientist for, well, like all reps, he's looking for DNA information and stuff. You know, he wants more life, father, or fucker, or whatever Ridley Scott decided this week. Eisendoller tells Sadiq here about the replicant organ designers and where to find them, which is a problem, because Sadiq, he, now has the information he needs.
Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story, but I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. It was a Tyrell sales brochure for the Nexus series, the kind of glossy hype that ends up littering the floor at trade shows. This one was for the new entertainment model, a comedian designed to entertain the troops off-world.
Some of this game is about perseverance. Don't click something just once, there could be more. For example, someone was trying to access protected files, but they didn't know that Eisendoller used his dog's name as a password, so I just walk out with important company files, and that's cool. Fuck Tyrell.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
That's easy. You find Guza and talk to him and get him to arrange a meeting if Guza's actually there, because 9 times out of 10 he's off doing important stuff, lighting pips on fire or whatever. When I do finally get to him, he'll set it up and you just walk up to his office, get told by Rachel that he won't show up. Hi, Sean Young. And McCoy fucking grills her. There's no dialogue choices. This all just plays out.
You heard about the moon bus hijacking? Yeah, I guess you would have. 50 people dead.
Damn, Clovis and this dude, and maybe this dude, and this unfunny fuck, and Lucy killed 50 people, and I'm supposed to let that slide?
I'm surprised you aren't out doing spin control. The public gets nervous when your pets wander around the city without a leash.
Replicants aren't pets.
Right. Pets live longer and don't go around killing people.
Damn, I must have McCoy set to stone fucking cold. Tyrell comes in and gives you jack and shit.
I do see why a replicant who has an identity would want to steal Eisendoller's files.
Please, enlighten me.
They want more life.
They're wasting their time.
They're gonna come for you, just like they came for Eisendoller.
I have nothing to fear from any of my children.
Oh, yeah, okay, thanks for nothing. I hope a replicant doesn't come in here in a few days and gouge your fucking eyes out. Got some clues that led me to Anemoy Row, which brings me to this fine firearms establishment and my good friend Bullet Bob.
That a .45 blaster under your coat, or you just happy to be here?
Found a shell casing that ballistics says came from an old weapon, so I asked Bullet Bob, and he says a man named Ezo might have had that kind of stuff. Oh, and also if he can hook me up with some ammo that doesn't suck.
You got any decent ammo for my piece?
You mean the good stuff? 'Cause I know them police-issue spitballs just don't cut it.
Not these days.
Yeah, I know how it is. If you want to drop a skin job, you need a little extra oomph.
Don't try to shoot Bullet Bob. Aside from this turret he has...
Hey, put that away!
I'm gonna put something away, but it ain't gonna be my gun.
Little boys shouldn't play with guns.
Ugh. Okay.
I'd crossed the line. Bob was a psychopath, but I was almost sure he wasn't a replicant.
That's a reload. Wasting a human in this game is not recommended. Brings the heat down on you. I killed this hobo before, but I think I got away with it. I got a couple of people to talk to here. Sadiq was pretending to work for Kingston Kitchen.
This guy work for you?
No, but I wish he do. He be one fine-looking man.
Ezo's an obvious scumbag who seems to want to get caught.
How about off-world assault weapons? You got anything that's a match for these?
I don't deal in anything from the off-world. Much too hard to authenticate.
A man of your expertise could probably tell, though.
All I'd have to do is make one vid call and you would be shoveling shit off-world for the rest of your career.
Talk to me like that some more and you'll be eating it.
Perhaps I can interest you in this camera.
I'm gonna start pulling the gun out on these clowns, I swear.
There were off-world rifles here and more. Grenades, explosives, modern rifles, even some police-issue restricted weaponry. Ezo wasn't some small-time fence, but a big-time arms dealer. The exact arms that renegade replicants would be looking for to survive in the big city.
Steele catches up and puts him in lockup, but they let him keep his sword. That's probably not a good idea. There's a whole subplot about a replicant Underground Railroad 2, and there's a ton I won't be able to show unless I upload 6 hours of game footage. Fun fact, if you look at one of the pictures on that camera, you can see Deckard asking people about snake scales. But not his face, because Harrison Ford ain't gonna do some video game. I go to talk to one of the organ designers on DNA Row.
You ever get down to Nightclub Row, you ought to check out my act.
Do I have to?
I'm just warming up the room. But it's better than a kick in the pants, you dig?
God, this guy's annoying.
Not good time now. Come back later.
I talk to Chu, played again by James Hong from the movie, who gives me almost nothing and tells me Miraji, another designer, didn't show up for dinner, and...
What's going on? Who did this?
Help me, sir. Please, help me. It is going to blow.
Oh yeah, some action.
What's going on? Who did this?
Help me, sir. Run! Run! Tiene information. God, forgive me. I told them about the twins.
Well, he didn't have much screen time. They ought to call this area Cameo Row, since you walk down here and get to the Bradbury building where J.F. Sebastian, played by William Sanderson... Hey, wait a minute! Oh, you motherfucker. I am so tired of getting my ass kicked.
How long have I been here, Lucy?
How do you know my name?
I saw your things at Runciter's. Did you feel bad when they killed those animals?
They were so pretty and sweet. I hoped Father wouldn't do it. But Mr. Runciter deserved retribution. That's what Father said.
No argument here.
Why?
'Cause he treated me bad. Are you really the hunter? Like Father says?
It's my job.
Why? What do you have against us?
Nothing, it's just... the law.
Would you hurt me?
I promise you I won't.
I can't be held to that. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm kind of surprised that there's animation and stuff for this here, bouncing around in a chair to get yourself untied.
Hysteria Hall was an arcade down near Nightclub Row.
Okay, but where am I now? The Yukon. And here's that car I've been looking for. In case you didn't pick up that coin, there's a wrapper in the car for,
The wrapper was from a vendor I knew. Best lichen dogs in the 4th sector.
Gross.
But with an arcade next door and a dozen nightclubs down the street, Mia and Murray's stand saw more action in a night than my spinster aunt saw all last century.
That are sold by an old couple outside the arcade, but we got police work to do. Back to HQ, got a picture from the moon bus that was in the database, and... Hey, wait a minute. This is pointing strongly to McCoy being a replicant, but I think we could still walk it back. Another thing I found in my database was this recording, which didn't play at all anywhere.
My ribs still hurt, and at least 2 teeth were loose. Sadiq was a tough customer, but he just didn't act like a rep. I got in at least 1 good shot, and he definitely felt it. A Nexus 6 wouldn't have even blinked.
So Sadiq, for the first time ever in one of my playthroughs of this game, is not a replicant. He's just strong enough to throw me around and helps replicants. I go back to where I was captured and I talk to J.F. Sebastian, who gets offended and tells me to leave before I can get anything useful, so I guess it's off to the arcade.
Got the straight scoop for me, or what?
I think you should leave now, Mr. McCoy.
Here we go, the most wholesome people in this stinky, disgusting city.
You're wrong, sweetie. It was...
You guys still battling it out?
That's what keeps a marriage alive and kicking, Ray. What can we do you for?
I gotta see if I can track down Lucy. Oh, never mind, there she is.
Can you take me to your father?
I don't think he'd like that.
Well, no, he wouldn't, because I would totally waste him, but that's the job, kiddo. Dude's a creepy robot.
There's another hunter after your family.
We know. The woman who smokes.
I haven't seen Steele kill anyone yet. Does she just smoke cigarettes and wait for me to ferret out crooks? I don't know, it doesn't seem cool to me to gun down a 14-year-old in the middle of an arcade, so I let her go.
You're not the hunter anymore?
Go, quickly.
Thank you.
No, I did it because I didn't want to try to chase her through this maze area like what happened in my last playthrough. That sucked. Off to the nightclubs where Lucy's mother is.
I remember early Q used to call himself a humanitarian because he'd recruit orphans for his sex club, then donate a percentage of their salary to his favorite animal propagation lab. Yeah, he was a real piece of work.
Oh, ew. So I gotta get past the bouncer who already hates me. I remember this part though. There's a booth that takes you to the VIP lounge, and once this woman starts dancing, the bouncer is distracted, and we can go talk to Early, who's an asshole.
Early had the entire place wired. He even had cameras in the dressing rooms, and I bet the farm he was using them for more than security.
Ew. More like Randy Q's fucking greasy.
I didn't know what was on the disc, but the way Early had hidden it, it was bound to be dirty laundry.
Early catches you in here, and this is one of those places that best shows off how dynamic this game can be. This can play out in a few ways.
What's on the disc, Early?
Hey, I don't hassle you about your private life.
Oh, hey, Stephen Root.
Put it down, McCoy.
Must be something pretty juicy. Your girls know about the cameras?
I got you. You want to trade. The disc for... what?
Let's hear what you got.
What do you say you and I have a drink first,
Do not take a drink from this creep.
Jeez Louise, McCoy, you look awful. I'll take the disc. Thanks. Whoa!
Cough up some dirt, Early, or I'm taking this disc downtown.
Okay, well...
You want Victoria, is that it? The girl with the rep friends?
Sit down.
I'll throw it tonight with one of my dancers.
Sit down.
Jesus Christ! Okay, so you gotta know when to put the gun away, because Early doesn't give a shit about killing cops.
We'll see. I still got the gun.
You're cold, Jim. But I know you're gonna be thankful I put those cameras in. Hey, check out Victoria's bearded boy toy.
No, you ain't getting this back.
The disc? I'm keeping it for now.
We had a deal.
You'll get it back if you behave.
So it's blackmail.
Insurance.
No more free drinks for you, buddy boy.
I didn't get free drinks before.
Get out of my club.
Yeah, fuck you, Early, and your fucking snake hose, your limey bouncer, creep cam, and child-selling dick nose. I wish I could shoot people who weren't reps. The picture he gave me has Lucy, Clovis, and Victoria in it, one of his girls, who I try to VK and she runs. I walk over to the bar next door and look who it is, Gordo frickin' Frizz.
I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Man, don't you got anything better to do than hassle innocent people at their place of work?
No.
Make it snappy, okay?
You seen this woman around here?
I think I slept with her just last night.
What?
Just kidding, baby. I might have spent an evening with her, but how'd I remember?
Yeah, I'm sure you're irresistible.
The babes dig a man with a sense of humor.
That's an urban legend, trust me. I've done my top-tier dead baby jokes and got nowhere.
I didn't know Taffy was hiring your type.
You mean my type, as in talented, right?
No, I mean a skin job, you tacky bastard.
I had to fill in last minute for that snake woman.
Did you hear what happened to her?
She went on permanent vacation.
That's right. She was retired by a Blade Runner.
She was one of those skin jobs? Between you and me, I hear they're all over the place down here. You oughta call in a few more of the hunters to clear the place out.
Hunter?
Is he gonna give up yet? I've known this guy was a rep since I picked up the brochure in the Tyrell building.
Look, I'd love to jawbone with you all night, but I'm being paged for my set. Check it out. What does a marriage and a tornado have in common? First, there's a lot of sucking and blowing, and then you lose your house.
Oh man, no, come on, this is cringe.
You know what my first wife's nickname was? Twister.
Oh no.
Guess what happens to a replicant who does his job really well? Early retirement, baby.
This is like listening to Vogon poetry.
Can I get a spot, please? That's right. It's one of the boys from the local Blade Runner unit. One of the LPD's finest. Ray McCoy! Let's give a big hand for Rep Detect McCoy. He even thinks you're a replicant. He can waste you right where you stand. Nice job, eh, detective?
It doesn't quite work that way.
How about yourself? You sure about yourself? 'Cause I got some friends, they say they know you.
You're lying.
Yeah? My friends say you ain't a Blade Runner at all. They say you're a fraud. And look, here come the cops now. Let's have a big hand for the real police.
What?
I'm a Blade Runner. You don't believe me? Call Lieutenant Guza.
There ain't no Guza in the LPD. You tell me about everyone you met through cars, and I'll guarantee you will go real easy.
Your breath smells like you wiped your ass with your teeth.
Holy shit, Steele comes in, like she blows up a wall. Bullet Bob's been holding out on me. I'm gonna have a chat with him. I totally believe she blows off your restraints with that shotgun. Yes, I do. Steele shit is the only thing that bothers me in this game. It takes me out of it because it's so over the top, it just doesn't fit, but whatever, we're free now, and me and Gordo Frizz are gonna have some laughs.
Now this is what I call a captive audience.
You got nowhere to go, Gordo. You're a replicant.
Everyone's a critic. I've died on stage plenty of times.
His act certainly left room for improvement.
Attention all units. All points bulletin has been issued for Ray McCoy, formerly BR61661. Confirmed 1 civilian kill. EZO. Considered armed and dangerous.
What the hell is that?
Steele is nice enough to let me go, but somebody set me up, and I won't rest until I find out who it was. Or I'm a replicant, that's also possible.
A little light started to flicker in my brain. Guza was the one measuring me for the frame. I used to think Guza was a pretty smart guy, but letting Baker and Holloway work their bogus interrogation deal with all that LPD equipment was a suicide move.
Now we're on the run. No flying car to get us around, so we have to use... of course. I find Lucy down in the sewer, which is... why?
I need something.
We don't have time for
That thing you do to see if a person is human?
the Voight Comp? You want it.
Is it always right?
Usually.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I do have to show it off in this video sometime.
Reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention. Where do you live?
In Chinatown, at the Yukon.
You return from work to find that your home has been burglarized.
Why would anyone do that? I don't have anything anyway.
You rent a mountain cabin. A deer's head is mounted above the fireplace. A full stag with developed horns.
A head? Why?
They used to...
I don't want to know.
Positive result. Subject is human.
Really?
Test terminated.
I tell you what, kids, that's the first time I've ever gotten a human Lucy in this game. She runs off never to be seen again. But thankfully not hanging around some murderous androids, of which I might be one, so there's that. Hey Bob, you been holding out on me? Steel blasting through a wall with buckshot. What the oh.
Scum-sucking skin jobs everywhere.
That's okay, you can raid Izo's stash, which also gives you a clue about Guza, sort of. You talk to the twins, who were apparently a creation of Tyrell, a mistake, but he had him work for him anyway. They were making animals for Runciter, but that's not really important. They tell you that they'll give you the goods on Guza, which they have because he's been dealing with the reps because he's dirty as hell. Mostly arms shipments. Anyway, you just have to sneak into the Tyrell building, which is way easier than you'd think. There's an entrance from the sewers that brings you into a vent and the security guard from earlier is sleeping. So you just go up there and take it off Tyrell's desk. I don't buy it. You call Guza to arrange a meeting in the sewer.
I got it all right here. Photos, files, discs, the works. It ain't a pretty sight.
Oh, you know what? You have ruined my life! You have ruined my life! I have to live with this now!
I see we were right to follow him, Sadiq.
Looks that way, man.
Do you hear that? I am fucked, and you fucked me! Hard!
So, what shall we do with this detective? He's been so persistent, so industrious.
You know what I would do.
Perhaps you're right. It's over.
Nah, fuck this, I'm out. Clovis wants you to meet outside town at the crashed moon bus, but I go home instead and...
Oh, God.
You did not kill that dog. You did not kill that dog. Oh.
It wasn't any mystery, and if I'd gotten home a few minutes earlier, it would have been me down there on the killing floor. No, it was a message, plain and simple.
Oh my God, she fucking John Wicked me!
Crystal was giving me one last chance to disappear, but now I had a little message of my own to deliver. The moon bus up and running yet?
All it needs is fuel.
Oh, fetch quest, huh?
My hands are labored day and night.
Oh, poetry, huh?
I never did like poetry. I never thought she'd turn out to be a rep sympathizer.
People are unpredictable.
I know! It's always the person you least suspect, but I guess I'm not a replicant, right? Right?